Hey everybody and welcome to Adventures with Peps. Now I am painting the second half of the Mongrel box set, which happened to be a Robo Paratrooper. Now with the sun back I can get spray cans out again, so I'm going with white primers on a lot of this moving forwards now, just because I want brighter, more colourful 2000 AD warriors. I'm moving away from my 40k grimdark. I want bright, I want colourful. So we're going to start with this Robo Paratrooper, which comically is the least colourful model in the entire range, but he's going to be a good starting point. So I grabbed the Grim Black Army Speed Painter and I'm going to paint his gun initially. So this guy, he is multiple shades of grey on the photo of him. I'm going to move slightly away from that and add a little bit of dark blue. I know, wow, hey, I've gone real bright. But as you can tell, this is probably going to be a quick and dirty video just because of the fact that I'm only using 4 colours. Grim Black on the gun, Gravelord Grey for most of the body, Runic Grey for the face and pouches, and then blue for the shoulder pads. So the gun was a nice easy opening step, as you can now see. I think I'm reaching a point where I need to buy more of the army speed painters, so I'm probably gonna have to save up for a few months and get the mega pack so that I don't have to get any colors ever again, and then we can start experimenting more with my color palette. But yeah, usually I have at least one video a week that is a 40k model. Last few weeks I've not had one. I've just not felt it. I'm not going to force it in any way, shape or form. So expect a lot more 2000 AD painting to happen. Maybe some other stuff's going to go in. You got a lovely view of my hand, so we're going to skip forward and I'll catch you on the flip side. So it turns out I completely lied. I actually used an additional colour. I used Holy White, which is going to be on the ABC warrior and the stars on the model. While I'm doing that, we can talk about the actual figure itself. It's an auxiliary unit, so it's a point filler, but he comes in at 10 points a robot. He's got move 4, shoot 3, evade 3, resist 4 and a cool of 2, so he's nothing special. He's not terrible, but he is nothing special. He's armed with the M129 Deliverer, which is a short range of 8 plus 2 to hit, long range 16 minus 1, power 4, compact high power, which is exactly what the ABC Mark 1 Hammersteins had. So he's very similar to them. The only difference is he's got the power drop rule, if I can get that out. During initial deployment, they are able to descend towards the ground as if they've been dropped from a dropship. They can be placed anywhere on the table, even within 3 inches of an objective or 9 inches of an enemy. During a power dropping, why am I struggling with that word? During a power dropping's model's very first activation, his first action must be to land, which is a single action. After this, they can act normally. Until its first activation and landing, the power dropping model can only be targeted by ranged attacks, and line of sight to them is always considered clear regardless of terrain. So you can drop him anywhere on the board, and that sounds cool to me. Before I rabbit on about that, I've grabbed the Runic Grey and I'm going to do the face and some pouches on him. But yeah, the idea that you could just drop this model in any way you want just seems so cool. His cool of 2 is not great, let's be honest, but the idea that he could come down and just claim an objective quite quickly is quite an exciting option for you in game. It can also be very annoying for your opponent because they could waste the turn trying to shoot him out of the sky out of fear that he's going to claim an objective or maybe hinder something along the way. It depends what mission you're playing, but at 10 points, he's really cheap. You get 2 of these for, nearly 2.5 of these for a Hammerstein in-game, which is roughly around 20-something points. So they're not a terrible unit. The thing I am struggling with these Warlord games kits is that if I want another Paratrooper, I would have to buy Mongrel again, and I don't want another Mongrel. I really hope that the auxiliary troopers get separate releases, because even like the models in the game, the Hammerstein Mark 1s and the AK-47s, if I want more of them, the only way I'm getting them is through the starter set. I ain't buying another starter set, so I really, really hope they release these guys separately. Up next is Gravelord Grey. That's going to go all over the body. It's going to be a nice fun phase for me to paint, because it's pretty much all of it now apart from his shoulder pads. But yeah, what do we think the chances are of Warlord Games releasing the AK-47 separately, Hammerstein Mark 1 separately, these paratroopers separately? Like, even if they did the paratroopers again as like a box of 3 or something, and they had different poses, I'd be down for that. I want like a paratrooper regiment, that'd be pretty cool. Or even more AK-47s. I'm not going to complain, because I actually ended up with 2 starter sets, so I have enough, but I always want more. I've just got visions of an actual army of AK-47s marching across the table towards a Hammerstein. I think that would look so cool. Now we are on to the darker blue that I've been hinting about. We're going to use Cloudburst Blue for this stage, and I'm going to put it on his shoulder pads. Nice and simple step. You know me, nothing too fancy around here. But look, he is such a dark model. It's quite comical that the second that I decide to go with a super bright undercoat, I pick the darkest models in the game to paint. But always the way. What I need to know from you guys, though, while I'm showing that off, what am I painting next? What am I doing next? I think I've got all of wave 1 done now. So it's between the Rogue Robots, Mechquake, Joe Pineapples, Brojaws, and Steelhorn. Let me know what you want to see painted next, and I will do that model next. You've probably got until... Well, you're going to see this guy on Friday, so you've probably got until Sunday to let me know in the comments below. And as you're heading down to let me know, make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And also, if you're there and want to buy me a coffee once a month, it would be humongously appreciated. I love drinking coffee. It fuels my day. It makes me super tongue-tied when I've had too many. But yeah, please consider it. It does help me out in the long run. And I do really appreciate any help that you guys can give me. If you're not able to do that, make sure you share this to social media or something. Give me a little nudge. Make sure you tag Warlord Games in it so they're seeing me. I'd love to get some freebies from them. It's so shallow of me. But you know how it is. This isn't a cheap hobby. If I can get some freebies and have more money to spend on the kids, that makes me a happy person. Anyway, let's get to the glamour shots, and we will catch up in the next video. As always, I do appreciate you stopping by and watching these, and I hope you're still enjoying me rabbiting on for, nearly 9 minutes now. Until next time, bye-bye.